Welcome to another episode of Mastering Business Communication, your District 29 Toastmasters International TV show hosted in the Reston Comcast studios. Today I have with me a phenomenal club, the Woodbridge Toastmasters Club. They are 3 times President's Distinguished and are currently distinguished so far this year. Welcome, ladies. I have with me Ingrid Thomas and the club president, Ruth McBride. Ingrid, you have been so instrumental in getting this club on here. Tell us all about yourself and what you're doing in Toastmasters. How long have you been a member in Toastmasters?
I have been a member of Toastmasters for 2.5 years.
2.5 years, wow.
2.5 years.
Okay, awesome. And what are your current roles in Toastmasters in your club level?
Currently, I am the Vice President Communications, or Vice President Public Relations. Sorry, I'm confusing this with my job title. My career is in communications and marketing, and for work, I'm a marketing and communications manager, and that's why I became a Toastmaster.
So let me ask you then, does it make it easier to transition into Toastmasters with a career already focused on communication?
That's the only part I know. I think that maybe for myself I have a little bit of an advantage because I write for a living, I write speeches for a living, and for me I was able to bring that experience into my club experience, but then I also take my club experience to my work experience and to just feed off each other.
So you're able to grow your career and expand your horizons by using Toastmasters as an advocate.
Absolutely, and my employer is so supportive of my Toastmasters growth, and whenever I hit a milestone, they recognize it and they celebrate it. It's
wonderful,
pretty exciting.
Wonderful. Ruth, welcome to the show. I hear that you are the club president.
I am.
Is this your first time being club president?
It is.
How long have you been a member of Toastmasters?
I have been a member since 2010.
Okay.
And I joined Toastmasters because that year I was the chairperson of my family reunion.
Okay.
And I wanted to be able to give a speech at the reunion. And I joined
Wonderful.
Toastmasters. And
Wonderful.
I was successful.
Wonderful. That's so awesome. And currently right now you've completed your competent communication
Yes.
manual and your competent leadership manual.
Yes, I have.
What are your goals in Toastmasters?
My goals in Toastmasters, because of work, I need to take a year off.
Okay.
And then when I return, I will complete my other goals and eventually become a DTM.
Wonderful. You have the goal and aspiration of DTM. That is Distinguished Toastmaster.
Yes.
I too also share that same goal, and I'm on my track doing that. One of the reasons why I took over as executive producer was to help facilitate that goal of reaching my Distinguished Toastmasters. So Ingrid, you have been so inspirational and so helpful for your club of getting them on the show. What does this mean for your club?
I think for my club, this means that we will have more exposure. Our club is so excited to be here. Everyone was just really enthusiastic, and when I asked for volunteers, we had more volunteers than we really needed, and so they're here to support. We have some that are panelists, but we're also going to use this as a marketing tool. So we'll put it on our Facebook, we can put it on YouTube, and we'll share it with everyone because they're so excited to be here and to be part of this opportunity.
Wonderful, wonderful. So the theme is leaping over hurdles. Who came up with the title?
We came up with that title because as a club, we've had some ebbs and flows, and right now we are riding the high tide, and it's so awesome. And we've seen a lot of growth, and we're still growing, and we're hitting our goals. And with everything that you do in life, there are hurdles that you'll have to jump over, and the lessons that you learn while doing them will really help you progress in life.
Thank you for that. Let me share with our viewers what the agenda will look like tonight. We have a speech by Ms. Talisa Thomas Hall, Failure is Not an Option. We have a second speech by Mr. Samuel Lightfoot, Fail Early, Fail Often. And then we're going to have a panel evaluation, and then we'll bring you two back. Ruth, one last question. I hear your club is already distinguished, and you guys have been President's Distinguished 3 years in a row.
Yes.
Obviously, you're a great leader. What is it? What do you do? What's your secret sauce?
Well, our secret is we stick with the program. We always have an agenda. We always stick to the agenda. And we start on time, we end on time, and we believe in being a family.
Okay.
And we make our meeting fun. So people come back and they invite their friends to come.
All right, we'll leave it right there. Stay tuned for our next session.
failure. It's a very strong and real part of life. In fact, failure has been credited for successes of war. Failure can paralyze you. It can cause you to not succeed in the things and the goals that you've set and established for yourself. But, Toastmasters and listening audience, I present to you today, what if failure weren't an option? The very definition of failure is to not succeed or to not meet the desired end. So, let's make a plan of not failing. Let's use my New Year's resolutions, if we will, as an example. It's April. I established a resolution in November. I wanted to be ahead of myself. I was going to achieve my goals last year, 2014. And that book still is not written. And I count it as a failure. So do I write it off, or do I keep working towards this goal? When I think about success, I have three key things that I like to remind you of. First of all, establish a goal. Be bold enough to dream. Secondly, establish a plan. Lay it out. Bring in all of your helpers at hand and everything that you're going to need to achieve great success with this goal. And then number three, achieve it. Simply move forward to your success. Sounds easy enough, simple enough, but without fail, as you begin to lay out your path to success, you begin to see these hurdles pop up like a runner. 1 hurdle, 2 hurdle, 3 hurdle. And in my plan, I could just see the hurdles popping up down the path. And suddenly, I'm caught up in the fear of failure. How can I overcome these hurdles? I'm not even a sprinter. I'm not a jumper. How can I overcome all of these hurdles? Well, a little secret that I've learned in time is that each hurdle is an opportunity to either fail or succeed. So, maybe you can't jump over your hurdle, but you can go around it. Maybe you can't go around it, but you can climb over it. You can take your time and systematically climb over whatever that hurdle is. What I'm saying is that there's no impossibility in your plan. There's no impossibility. So as the hurdles pop up, you write it into your plan to deal with those hurdles, one by one by one. If the fear of failure pops up, deal with it. You have an option. You have an option to succeed and to meet your desired end, or you have the option to succumb to failure. What do you choose? Which road do you take? I choose to succeed, which means I have to overcome these hurdles and I have to keep pressing towards the mark. There are times when I may feel like I'm caught up in failure. Maybe I feel like I just can't get around. But you have a network of success around you, a network of encouragers. And I thank goodness for Toastmasters that serves as my network of encouragement to succeeding. So this year I started with a realistic goal, and I'm glad to say it's April, and I'm on my way. Yes, there have been some hurdles, but I've overcome them. And I will continue to do that. This morning I woke up and there was a saying on my Facebook page, and it said, I will succeed no matter how long it takes me. And I thought, wow, that's great. I can use that tonight because I believe that. And that's the mentality you have to have when failure simply is not an option.
What do Steve Jobs, Sam Walton, and Michael Jordan have in common, besides being filthy rich? All three of them attribute their great success to their ability to fail early and fail often. I remember when I was in high school, a freshman, I decided I'm going to join the track team. I love running, and I like the people on the track team. So I went out for the track team, and I remember my very first race. It was the 1 mile. And as I got on line to get ready to run that race, I was feeling good about myself. And I ran as fast as I could, all 4 times around that track. And when I finished, I looked up, and I was dead last. And it was devastating. And I went back over to the side, and I went to the coach and said, I'm sorry I let the team down. I must be a terrible runner. I think maybe I should go out for soccer or something. And the coach, he looked at me, and he said, you did great. I know that you love running, and you showed a lot of heart out there. Many people would have stopped and quit when they saw that they were finishing in last place, but not you. And you know what? I know that you can become a good runner, one of the best runners, if you just come and practice every day like you have been doing, and I'm sure you're going to be the best. Now that coach at that time could have ruined my track career. He could have said, yeah, you're right. Why don't you go, I'll go talk to the soccer coach tomorrow. But no, he did 3 things that really made me want to stay on that team. The first is that he reminded me that I was passionate about running, and I just actually loved doing it. Steve Jobs, when he was fired from Apple, he was devastated. He thought he was an abysmal failure. He even talked to his friends in Silicon Valley and said, you know what, maybe I should quit this. But he didn't. He went on and founded Pixar, which became the biggest animated company in the world. Another thing that my coach said to me, he said, you know, I'm going to give you the ability to fail early and fail often by giving you plenty of practice. Michael Jordan, greatest basketball player ever, did not start off that way. When he was young, he had an older brother who was the better football player. Basketball player. His older brother used to beat him every day in one-on-one at home. But Michael Jordan never gave up. He failed early and failed often as a kid. Even in high school, they looked at him as not the sports figure. His brother was the person who was the athlete. So even in high school, he was not the star. He didn't get to college. Finally, he had a chance to break out. And he said because of those early successes, he was able to ride the bench until it was his time and become the greatest basketball player the world has ever known. Now the third thing that coach did is he came up to me and he didn't concentrate on the things I did wrong and failure. He concentrated on the things that I did good, the determination, the heart, the fact that I did not quit. Sam Walton, when he first retired from the Army, he wanted to open up his own department store. He did a lot of things right, but ultimately the store failed. Failed miserably, and he had to sell it. But he did not give up. He started a second store, and that second store became the biggest successful retail store ever. He didn't concentrate on the things he did wrong. He looked at the things he did right. And that was another thing that my coach did. He told me the things he did right. No, so instead of quitting the track team after that first miserable failure, I went on and ran many races and I had many other failures. But ultimately, my senior year, I was awarded the most valuable player for the most wins of anybody on the team that year. So when you see something you're really passionate about and you just didn't succeed that first time, don't quit and give up. First, remember why you're doing it, why you're passionate about it. Second, give yourself the ability to fail early and fail often. And third, concentrate on the positives and not the negatives. Then you too can achieve great success in your life.
And we're back again with the Woodbridge Toastmasters Club, where we're going to do an evaluation panel style on both of the two speakers. We had Talisa Thomas Hall give a speech, failure is not an option. And then we had Sam Lightfoot give a speech, fail early and fail often. With me tonight I have Alicia Cadney, and you're going to be speaking to the development and the transition of the speeches that we heard today, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, then I also have Spencer LaCapra,
That's right.
and you will be speaking to the technique of the speech.
Absolutely.
Okay, awesome. And then we have Tracy Lee. Tracy, you will be speaking to the body language and the vocal variety.
Yes.
Okay, so we heard the first speech, which I thought was a wonderful speech. Who wants to start?
I'll start since the development.
There it is. Jump right in.
With Talisa's speech, the development of her speech was very key. In order to pull off a speech that you're referring to in a manner that she referred to it, you want to give it that good opening. Talisa's speech had a great opening. She used variances in movement, but most importantly, her speech made sense, which in Toastmasters is one of the key areas that we focus on in our club. Also, her transitions were spot on. As
Correct.
she transitioned from each phase of the speech,
Yeah, she did.
you could subtly see that, not only in her speaking ability, but even in the subtle pauses that she gave throughout the speech.
Right.
That's a technique that's very hard to do in Toastmasters, and be able to do it unscripted. So she did an excellent job with that.
One of the things I liked was that she labeled establish a goal. I think I heard that was a point number one. I don't know if you guys picked up on that one. Number two was each hurdle is an opportunity,
Yes.
right? And not only that, she gave a resolution. You either go around it or you go over it, but we're overcoming this, right?
Exactly.
So it was very motivational and encouraging. And then the third one I took away from it was believe you can succeed. I mean, that's awesome. I mean, that's the foundation right there of any competent, confident, capable individuals, that you must first have a belief that you can do this.
That's correct.
Sam, what'd you think about the technique?
Well, I thought the technique was absolutely, astounding. Being a sports person myself,
Okay.
I could just see myself
Run that race, yeah.
I remember the first time I attempted to run the 440
Yes,
back
sir.
in those days.
Yes, sir.
Hurdles. Pretty challenging,
Oh,
and
beyond
she
challenging.
really conveyed that point and used that as a great analogy to set up. You can certainly go around
Yes.
those hurdles as you mentioned earlier.
Yes.
So she did an awesome job with several other setups as far as goals. Some of the three major points, steps to goal setting. Establish a goal, develop a game plan, and
Right.
then execute it.
Execute.
And I thought that was wonderful. So she did a wonderful speech, and I've heard it a few times. I thought that was the best speech I've ever heard.
Wonderful. I'm a former 4x4 open 400 relay runner myself, and one thing we used to always speak to is endurance.
Right.
Tracy, welcome to the show. Is this your first time on the show?
It is.
Welcome. How long have you been in Toastmasters?
3 months.
3 months now. Okay, awesome. You're already giving evaluations. That just goes to show, audience, that you can jump right on in. The water's not going to get any warmer, so just come on and join the Toastmasters Club. Tracy, tell me, what did you notice about the body movement, the gestures, and the vocal variety of the speech that we heard?
Talisa's speech was very intriguing. I felt invited while listening to her speech,
Okay.
as well as it felt personable. I liked her body language. It opened up. She opened up more as the speech went on. And
Okay.
I truly enjoyed that. Her vocal variety at times felt like she was forthcoming and bringing her emotions into the speech, so even that felt more interesting, just to hear those subtle pauses in between, and I enjoyed the speech. It was really
Do you get more, anybody can answer this one, do you get more out of a speech when somebody adds emotion and theatrics?
Yes.
I saw her, with the hurdle, and I remember running and doing like that. So
Absolutely.
it adds something to the speech, and then the emotion too.
It serves a greater purpose. Just this past weekend, I participated in the division contest.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay.
So I had an opportunity to hear variations of emotion
Right.
from speeches that were about a child that was in a hospital
Right.
to a parent who was on their deathbed. And just to hear and see the emotions coming from each of the speakers just gave you chills. it actually put you in their position as they were going through those emotional roller coasters. So
Right.
that's always a great aspect.
Okay, well, we're going to move right on into our second speaker, which is Sam Lightfoot. You know what? If I were to just kind of summarize the MVP story, right? I mean, what'd you guys think? Tell me. Let's start with you.
Okay, I thought it was great. Sam is probably the best person I ever heard master the storytelling art
Okay.
in speaking.
Okay.
And the inflection of his voice, he takes you up, and then of course he's able to bring you down. And if he wants to drop you off that cliff, he's able to.
He gives you a cliffhanger.
You're right.
Just brings you in.
He
Okay.
brings you right in. So
Definitely.
that was wonderful. And of course using Michael Jordan and Sam Walton and Steve Jobs as examples. Certainly, I can identify that being in business because every day is a challenge, some new
Right.
event, and you got to
Right.
overcome those if you intend to succeed.
Not only that, but remember, each point was related to each of the three individuals he brought into the story.
Absolutely.
So you were able to follow along. And so you had subject-verb agreement, right?
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Which goes a little bit more in detail into the development.
Gotcha.
In
Go ahead.
Toastmasters, we teach our speakers to have an opening, a body, and a conclusion.
Correct.
And what Sam did was he was able to tie all three literally up into a very nice bow. And he presented it so well that his transitions from each one of those individuals in the story, he was able to convey to the listener. So that really gave you a really good understanding of how those impacts of their lives really impacted in the speech.
How long have you been in Toastmasters?
I've been in Toastmasters going on 2 years now.
2 years.
I've been in 2 contests.
You've been in 2 contests.
Yep.
Okay.
And I'm also the VP of membership.
You're the vice president of membership.
Yes,
Okay,
I am. As you
wonderful.
can see the button.
Awesome. Okay.
So I'm the personal spokesperson for Toastmasters.
And you got, so you've been, how long, and you've been in this particular club the entire time?
Yes, this club the entire time. I also belong to 3 other clubs. Fort Belvoir.
Ah, Toastmaster-aholic on our
Yes,
hands. Okay.
and the Mark Center of Good Communicators, as well as DTMA, which is, Developing to Mentoring Advanced. So it's more of an advanced club.
Give us one benefit of joining multiple clubs. I belong to 2 clubs. I have a corporate club at Oracle, and then I also have a community club in the Reston Free Spirits. But what is the benefit of joining multiple clubs? Convey that to the audience.
The biggest opportunity you have is to network. Networking amongst your own peers, and even peers that you never would have come across in Toastmasters. That gives you the edge to, go back and forth about ideas for speeches, even looking at different roles that you could even do in the club, whether you're a VPM, Vice President of Membership, or President, or even down to the Secretary. It gives you great opportunity.
Wonderful. Spencer, how long have you been in Toastmasters?
I'm a newbie. I've been in 5 months, and I always wanted to become a better speaker.
Okay.
I've done speaking for a number of years, but it's just by watching people and communicating. So I'm probably very novice.
What do you do in your profession, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, I'm actually a business owner, and I teach people how to use successful principles and strategies to enhance their lifestyle.
Okay, so as a business entrepreneur who joined Toastmasters 5 months, what have you learned? What's one takeaway so far that could add value to your career?
Well, I've learned that you've got to be more structured sometime in
There it is.
your speaking ability.
Okay.
I probably have been accused of winging it, so to speak, for a number of years.
Have an agenda.
So now that's my goal, is become a national and perhaps one day an international speaker where I can help people all over the country.
Okay, wonderful. Let me ask this question. In Toastmasters, not only do we give great evaluations about pointing out things that they've done right, we always want to leave the person with a growth point, something to grow, something to stretch them a little bit, take them to the next level.
Well, one
Jump right in.
good example about that is knowing your speaker. With Sam and also with Talisa, they're members of our club. So we're able to really give them those growth points. And
Okay.
one, you might suggest maybe introducing a prop sometimes in your speech. I saw this weekend that how the use of a prop helps the speaker to convey the overall presence of the speech. So that's a good idea.
Tracy, as far as it pertains to body movement and things like that, would you have any comments, any growth points for the speakers that spoke earlier?
Yeah, make sure that you're using the space available for every chance you have in taking your speech to another level so that you're able to grow from that point.
So you definitely want to use the entire floor,
Yes,
right? Movement with purpose, we always stress that.
yes.
What else?
Vocal variety, making sure that you're speaking up, or even just speaking low in sensitive moments where maybe you're giving a speech about grief or death or something that you can convey to your audience.
So,
in the moment.
matching the moment with the emotion.
Absolutely.
Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I was going to say. Just being able to, whatever, make your speech
Right.
fit the moment.
Okay.
So that's what I would say.
I agree.
Okay. Any last words towards our speakers or what you saw tonight?
They are advanced speakers and they have a wealth of knowledge and will continue to go forward in Toastmasters.
So that's going to conclude our panel evaluation segment. And next up, we'll do a small closeout with the Vice President of Public Relations and the club president. Stay tuned. And welcome back. I have with me again the Vice President of Public Relations and the club president, Miss Ingrid Thomas and Miss Ruth McBride. So, we saw an awesome demonstration of what Woodbridge Toastmasters Club is all about. Are you guys an open club, closed club? What time do you guys meet? Where do you meet? If somebody wants to just join you guys, where do we show up?
Yes, we are an open club. We meet the first and third Thursdays and the fifth Thursdays.
First, third, and fifth Thursday. Okay.
We meet at 7:30 p.m.
7:30
in the
p.m.
evening, Ebenezer Baptist Church
At-
in Woodbridge, Virginia.
Ebenezer Baptist Church in
You can-
Woodbridge, Virginia.
Right. If you want more information, we have a Facebook page,
You guys have a Facebook page.
Woodbridge Toastmasters Club, or you could go to our club website.
Okay. And Miss Ingrid, do you manage the Facebook page?
We do. I manage the Facebook page, and it's a group effort to manage the web page. Talisa does it. She was our first speaker,
Right.
and then I also do it. And we are also on Meetup, and we
Okay.
take advantage of the District 29 Meetup account as well, which I co-manage with other administrators. But people can find us on there as well.
So you guys definitely brought us some great speakers and some great evaluation. I mean, you had obviously an area/division evaluation contest member in Alicia. You had Sam and Talisa give great speeches. I mean, what else did your club do well?
We win contests. Sam has won at the club level and the area level. We've also won at the division level.
Wonderful.
And I've won at the club and area level too.
Okay.
And I think that our club really produces winners, and it's because our members are talented, but because, as Ruth said before, it's a family. We like to call ourselves a family, and we encourage each other to do our best.
Okay. So we had you guys on the show. You guys did 2 speeches and evaluation. What next for your club?
What's next is we're meeting tomorrow at 7:30.
Oh, so
That's right.
Yes.
Okay.
So we will go back to our club tomorrow and tell everyone about this, but we've also been teasing it on Facebook and getting our Facebook followers excited about it.
wonderful. Well, we thank you guys for coming on the show. We thank you for the host of talent that you guys brought to us. I mean, you Ingrid, you were very, very special in setting up. And that concludes our show for today. Thank you, ladies.
for having us.
Thank
Absolutely.
you for having us.